Hello, Crafty Friends. Annie Collins here for the Pajama Crafter. Today we're going to create this baseball themed card. Let's go over the products I'm using to create this card. I'm using the Play Ball stamp set, which contains 3 large images of ball players, 2 swinging, 1 pitching, a ball, a mitt. This one here that has home plate with 2 bats. It says home place like home. We have pitch please with a ball and a bat. Catch you later. I'm rooting for you. Hope your birthday is a home run. You're an all you're an all star, which we'll be using today. It's game day, y'all. So we're gonna use this image, and like I said, an all star as for our sentiment. We're gonna use the Let's Play Ball paper pad set. This is 48 double sheets, 12 designs. We have some great stripes, some solid, some other uh, baseball themed papers. Again, 48 double sided sheets, 12 designs. Let's go over them. We have red and white striped. And then on the other side, so this is the A side, B side is solid red, which is nice. It's not exactly solid. It has like a tone on tone red. It's really nice. Blue and white stripe with a blue background, which B side is blue. This one that has some baseball with the red leather stitching here, multi, and then there's a diagonal red and white stripe. Then you have a blue and white diagonal stripe on one side. The other side has blue and white ball and bat. Nice white background. And then this one has a blue background with red and white ball players, similar to the image we're going to use today. And on this side, you have a argyle type design. This one is striped with blue and white. No, that's blue, white, and a little dash of red. And then you have the same image that we saw before, just shrunk just a tiny bit. White background, red and blue silhouettes. So you have a nice variety here. This is just the back of the packaging. So I'm going to gather up my pattern paper here. Again, that's the Let's Play Ball pattern paper set. So these are the ones I chose. I chose the ball one. I just trimmed out one of the ball images. This one right here. I just cut around it. And then I'm going to stamp our image in the center of that. Now, I'm not worried about this corner section here because it's going to work perfectly for our card. And I used one of the that's not diagonal, it's a blue and white striped pattern paper. And I'm going to use both sides of this paper. For my background, I'll use the solid. And then for the, just for a little bit of the stripe, I'm going to use this little strip. That's what's cut off left over. These pattern papers are 6x6. I think I mentioned that, but just in case. And then I brought in a little scrap of white cardstock from my stash. And this is going to become an A2 size card. And I have my card base as well. All right, so we're going to start by stamping our image and our sentiment. So I'm going to grab those pieces that I need and put everything else to the side. Our image will be housed right here on this ball pattern paper piece that I cut. And I'm going to use VersaFine, Clair, and Nocturne because this paper is slightly slick, I guess is the best way to describe it. And then I'm going to use some Memento red, Ladybug red, for our sentiment to keep coordinating with everything. Finally, for a finishing touch, I have some clay stars that fits perfectly with our sentiment, which reads, "You're an all-star." All right, so let's get started. I have a sticky mat in my stamping platform, and I'm going to use that to help me hopefully hold our pattern paper down. And then I'm going to do the same and place my little white circle for our sentiment. I'm going to place it up here. Excuse me. I'm using the lines on the grid mat to help make sure things are straight when I go. I mean, as straight as you can for a circle. All right, so I'm going to remove my images and I'm going to use the silhouette ball, not ball, the silhouette batter here. The male, there's a girl and a boy or female male batters in the set and one picture. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and get my image. I want it in the center towards the bottom, as centered as we can for our baseball. Get him there, if I could get it to stop sticking to my finger. And then I'll work on my sentiment. And I'm going to stamp him full black silhouette image. I'm going to press him in place. Then I'll work on our sentiment. Now I'm going to pull this away from the camera for a second just to get my sentiment centered. It's hard for me to see if it's centered without my head getting in the way. All right, so I got that. I think I shifted my paper a bit, so I'm going to adjust that a little bit. And then I'll place my magnets to hold everything. Yep, that looks good. Now I'm going to work on my sentiment. I'm going to use the grid lines on the top of my stamping platform to make sure it stays. And I'm going to fix this once again with my magnets. I'm going to use this bigger one to hold my image. There. Okay. So I think I got everybody where they're supposed to be. I'm going to double check again. Once we do, I will then get some ink on these elements. Guess my sticky mat wasn't as sticky as I was hoping because my paper kept moving. All right. Excuse me. I'm going to ink up my sentiment, like I said, with the red ink and the image with black ink. And the reason why I'm using two different one is because I want my sentiment to pop with that nice color. And since this is a silhouette, I want to keep it with the black ink. This paper is slightly glossy, not like super glossy. So you want an ink that will go onto a glossy surface. All right, so I'm going to ink this up and I'll press this onto I'll stamp it down, press it down. And I may need to stamp this more than once. Since it's a solid image, sometimes when you have solid images, you have to stamp it more than once to get a nice even coverage. It's not anything you're doing wrong. It's just how it goes with solid images. So I'm going to give that a good press. I'm not pressing real hard on my sentiment because I don't want it to mush, as I say, but a little firmer on the image. So see how we have a little area that didn't stamp. That's not an imperfection or anything. It's just solid images take a little more ink and a little more, pressing and pressure. I just didn't apply enough pressure to that area. So I will make sure I focus more on that. And I give it a nice press again. And that should take care of our little missed area. See, now we're all solid. Our image is filled in and our sentiment is done as well. All right, so I'm going to remove our elements here. Peel it up. That's nice, like that. And here's our sentiment. That off. Get our stamping platform out of our way and we can start working on our card. I will clean my stamps after, just to save us a little time. All right. So we're going to go ahead and bring in the rest of our pieces. So we're going to start by adhering our striped pattern paper to our solid pattern paper here. Just going to adhere this just across like this. I'm going to use some liquid adhesive. It'll be easiest for adjusting anything. So I'm going to go ahead and add some liquid adhesive to this. And this is just going to go straight across this. Now, this is about 1.5 inches or so. It's okay. I'm just going to put a little liquid adhesive here. And I'm going to try to place this there. And I'll try to make it stay straight. And then I'll just flip it over and cut off the excess. I'm going to grab my large scissors here and then trim this right there. That's it. Now this little piece I will save because you can use it to cut any small die things out of it or add it to a bottom of a tag or a top of a tag or fishtail it and use it as little banners on another card. It's a great universal type pattern, so it'll be great. So I'm going to adhere my sentiment. I'm going to pop it up and then I'm going to trim off any of the excess. I just want it to have like a circular part on the top. So I'm going to use some foam adhesive here. I'm going to place that down and then I'll remove the backing. And then I will put this to the upper right, like I mentioned. I think I need one more. I'm going to put it about there. All right. So now I'll place this here. I have a little bit of something there, so I'm taking it off, making sure it's where I want it. And then I will use some liquid adhesive to adhere our ball player right here to the corner. See, I should have placed this stripy paper, the blue and white one, a little bit higher, but that's okay. It's already glued down. I'm not taking it up. I wanted a little bit more to show on the edge over on the left hand corner, but that's okay. See, just a little bit. That's okay. I'm not worried about it now. See how we just have a little bit peeking? I wanted a little bit more. So I needed to place it a little higher. Oh, it's glued down now, so we're moving on. All right, so I'm going to press my ball here in place. Now flip it over and trim away the little bit of excess here that we don't need from this circle. And now we're going to adhere this panel to the front of our card base. I didn't mention, today we're making an A2 top folding vertical card. I usually make A2 size cards, which is 4¼ by 5½. If I do anything different, I will let you know. All right, so here we are going to adhere this using some more liquid adhesive. And we're just about done with our card. So I'm going to center this so I have a nice edge all the way around. So I have a nice white edge frame all around our card. And it matches perfectly since we have blue, red, white, and blue basically in our card scheme here today. So you can call your card done here if that's what you'd like. I want to bring in some little other elements. So I'm going to bring in these little red and white clay stars from my stash. So I'm going to add some to the just above the ball player here or to the side of him, one above the ball and near our sentiment. I'm going to start with these three and then I'll decide if I want some more. I'm going to put a red one here, being that that's, a white wouldn't show. And then I'm going to put a white one above it on the blue and another white one here. And I think I'm going to add another one near the, just near the ball player here, another red one. I think it needs a little more. Just seems so much empty space. So I'm going to go ahead and place it for right now. And then I'll decide because I'm just moving everything around until I like the way it looks. I think I'm going to place one there, the red star on the red and blue, on the blue and white stripe. And then I'll just change the position of this last star. I think I'm going to move it above him about there. I like that better. All right. So now I'm just going to put the adhesive down and adhere my clay elements. I'm going to go ahead and adhere that one. And then this last little one right here. Once he's down, our card is complete. So I'll move this stuff out of our way. And here we are. Here's our completed card with our ball player. This is a cute little baseball themed card. Perfect for any ball player in your family or baseball lover. We use some black and red ink for our element and our sentiment. We used the Pajama Crafters Let's Play Ball pattern paper. Again, that's 48 double sheets, 12 designs. The Play Ball stamp set, that's where we have our images and our sentiment from to create our card today. So I'll have everything for you linked in the description box below for where you can pick up your own ball stamp and paper. Here's another look at our card. Thank you for being here. I hope you found some inspiration.